Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV Preview Show for Thursday, and we're nearing the end of April. It is the 25th. Where are we racing? At Turffontein on the inside track. I trust that you're well and hoping to end off the week on a high, because there are 8 races carded at Turffontein. Race number 1, I see, will begin at 12:35, 25 to 1. And all things being equal, we should close off that meeting at 16:40, 20 to 5. As always, Alistair Cohen on the line as our expert for high felt racing. Haven't spoken to him for a while. Alistair, how are you doing, bud?
Yeah, Dees, all is going well, Bayer. No complaints on this side. Obviously, we're getting towards the end of the half-felt racing season on Saturday, but there's nothing quite like champion season down in KZN, which is about 10 days away. So, really looking forward to it all. Not a bad card, but life finds me good, and I hope all the viewers are in good form and good spirits as well, and hopefully we can do some damage here on this Thursday.
Well, let's get straight into it then, Alistair. Race number 1, 12:35, a work rider's maiden plate. The distance is 1,500 meters. As always, just to give you a guide, Hollywoodbets horses that are in single figures as we pull up the field in race number 1. Take note that Trent Mayo is not riding, and we'll give you some of his replacements that we have at the time of recording, which is a day before the race meeting. So, race number 1. Number 1 is at 5 to 1, number 2 at 18 to 10, 3 at 33 to 20, 4 at 6 to 1, Alistair, then number 5 at 8 to 1, and it is double figures the balance. So, in these work riders races, you generally, are on the mark when it comes to these races, Alistair, because, you know the guy so well, and if you can match the form with the right rider, you could get, the combinations right. In race number 1, is Lucky Hoodalakis the stable to follow, or is it Robin Klaassen?
Neither. I'm going Waishong Mowing here with number 1, Irish Love, funny enough. I'll tell you why I'm against the other 2 horses. In a Blue Moon, dropping to 1,500 meters on the inside track, I think it's going to be too quick for him. Also, we had Sam Musio Carter to ride. It's now Bovida Cossa. Sam's out for a while, I believe, so that's a pity, and Sam is worth his weight in gold in work riders races, so I'm very worried about that aspect. And also in a Blue Moon, a bit of a tea leaf there, I say. I think Lucky would probably agree with me. And then number 3, Trombatista, being beaten 4 3/4 lengths by Pala Millions, puts Oklahoma Twister behind him. So Trombatista, I suppose, has valid claims. We await a replace or a jockey to be declared on the Son of New Predator. Again, I'm not sure he's foolproof, not that anyone is. So I'm going with number 1, Irish Love, simply on the evidence of a second start to Hackers Crackers. Second in that race was a red-hot favourite, Green Garnet, who I don't think we've seen since. He may have bitten off more than he could chew distance-wise last time out when not finding a finish behind Marauding Horde. Obviously, Marauding Horde 1 and 1 again. I think Marauding Horde will probably win this race by double figures. Tom Lukele is a real veteran of the work riders ranks. He does most of his riding out of the Val, but he's obviously been roped in by Waishong to ride this horse, number 1, Irish Love. And although I wouldn't recommend a good, strong bet to kick off, I think he'll be in the first 3, and you can work around number 1, Irish Love, in the opener.
Well, that's a nice roving banker there at around 5 to 1. And Waishong Mowing, well, he's stable, certainly having their fair share of winners. Number 1, Irish Love, some good value there from Alistair in race number 1, and may just be worth an each-way tickle in the first. So that kicks off the bar pot, and playing to beat numbers 2 and 3 there. On to the start of the place accumulator, which is race number 2. That will begin at 13:10, 10 past 1, 1,200 meters. Juvenile plate this, Alistair, and we got a few unknowns in the race. We'll use the betting as a guide. Number 1 at 6 to 1. Horse number 2 at 4.5 to 10 in the red and deep. Then we go on to number 7, Shinto Shrine. This is a first-timer from the stable of Tony Peter. There is some action around this horse, anti-post, Alistair, 9 to 2 into 33 to 10. And we know that, they have a yardstick when it comes to their young horses, because they've won a few of these feature races, and they've got some talented horses. So if there's further betting support following through on number 7, then it could be worthwhile having a look at this horse to take on the odds-on shot. But at this moment in time, number 2, Cosmic Speed, is all the rage.
He will have to be good to beat number 2 Cosmic Speed, won't he? His first run is a gelding for Cosmic Speed, 1 3/4 lengths behind Fire Attack, who of course went on and won the South African Nursery. You're right about the yardstick that the Peter Yard has with Shinto Shrine. If you consider that Fire Attack is roughly 2.5 lengths better than Pistol Pete, then they'll know where Shinto Shrine is. But I can't fathom Shinto Shrine being better at this stage than Pistol Pete. I can't see it. He's obviously going to have the advantage of draw 1. Calvin Abib takes the ride as well. The yard knows how to get them ready all the time, but I can't see number 2 Cosmic Speed coming undone. He'll have to drop down a few divisions from what he showed first time for number 7 Shinto Shrine to beat him. I'm not going to fall into that trap, and if it does turn out that way, well then that's the way it is. Richard Faree's on board, the son of Quarari, Cosmic Speed. I think everything points to him as a very hard horse to beat. The PA is my suggested bet. He's a banker, and on what I can see in the form that he brings, he is one of the bets on the day for me.
Well, that is good for us, Alistair. And Richard Faree, as you mentioned, is in town. Maybe this is another one to point towards that target of 334. Race number 2, Alistair, very confident with the odds-on shot there, but just keep an eye if there's any follow-through in the betting on number 7, Shinto Shrine. On to the third race. Well, the last time we did what I'll call a mock pick 6 on the show, it was caught. I'll see if it's worthwhile. I'll jot down some numbers with regards to the spend. It's amazing how you don't plan things and they work out. Race number 3, 1,200 meters, maiden plate, fillies and mares. Well, this is the betting. There is a late scratching here of number 8. I think there should be follow-throughs with adjustments, but I'll just give it to you as a guide. Number 1 at 7-1, 2 at 6-1, 3 is at 17-2. We got a 7-10 shot here. Mark Khan and Richard Faree. That's a Dragon number 7. 9 is also a scratching now, and then 10 is at 7-1. Another odds-on shot here for the Faree machine.
I think she'll win these. I know that the draw's not an advantage, and I know that she doesn't bring any valuable form lines into the picture, but on her debut, you actually got to watch that run to believe it. She was so unlucky. That she beat Quick Trip? No, but she ran into so much trouble in a small field. It was actually hard to watch, and then last time she had victory in her sights, and she just got nabbed right at the end. I'll put that down to inexperience that caught her out over the closing stages. I think she hit the front, and she just sort of wandered off, wasn't really wandering off a true lie, but she kind of just pricked her ears and didn't want to go through with it once she was in front. So I'm just looking at the opposition, the lack of quality in the opposition. These with a scratching of number 8 win in Paris, I don't see too many issues from a pick 6 perspective. Obviously, one of the first timers comes up on us, and the first race runner home will qualify, and I can't see that not being number 7 Dragon. And when you look around, you've got the Navy Lark, a 12-start maiden who's run okay in very weak work riders maidens. 3 together again, a 26-start maiden. I mean, you can't get too excited about that. Number 1 Magic Secret obviously ran at the Val on Tuesday and ran in a very weak race, and I think she finished 3rd. So I don't think any of that is good enough to oppose number 7 Dragon. So there's the double, all-in Cosmic Speed, Dragon. They're the 2 bankers on the card. Like I said to Graham the other day, I'd love to give you something a little bit more juicy, but that's the way it is.
Well, if you are going to suggest a banker with number 7, then I am going to be interested in jotting down some numbers, because let's start off with that banker. And just to add to Alistair, last time out, she was unfancied on debut. Well, they put the money down as well. She was back to start 2-1 from 11-2, number 7 Dragon. So a lot of improvement was expected from her, which she delivered. 7-10 is her price. Richard Faree is up. Alistair thinks she's a banker. Number 1 did run on Tuesday. Ran 5th, Alistair, beaten 7 lengths by Enchanting Lady. Let's move along to race number 4. It's Jackpot 1. It's over 1,200 meters. Maiden plate. And how are they betting here? Well, we got the banker that's arrived in race number 3. Now we are looking for a few results, I suspect, or maybe Alistair is going to keep things, to the minimum spend here. In race number 4, number 1 at 9-2. Then we go on to Samanga Kumalo has got the rider number 4 that has been declared. Number 5 at 5-2, 6 is at 5-2, and then we got horse number 8 that went out to 20-1 first time out after opening up in single figures, trading now at 9-4. What did you make of that run of Wahid, the De Kock first timer on the 28th of March?
I was at the VAR that day, Dees, and he's a nice, big, strong son of Time Thief. And it was a fair run behind One More. One More's held in high regard. The runner-up, they think, is going to win very soon as well. So there's a bit of form to work with, and I think there's a bit of scope to improve. He's built like a sprinter, so I wouldn't be sure to see him running in the 1600 Grade 1 on Gold Cup Day, but who knows, he might develop in good time and quicker than I think. I'm happy to hold this race to 2 in the place accumulator, perhaps 3 in the pick 6. There's no doubt that the 2 at the top of the boards hold strong claims, and I think it'll be foolhardy to try and beat them. 6 Bad Medicine had a good day. Well, I say good debut, well beaten by Buffalo Storm Cody, and Johan Janse van Vuren waited 12 hours to geld him. He was gelded the next day. I haven't seen that too often, but no time was wasted. He's back on track. He's got the deepest draw, 8 out of 8. Slight concern, but it's not a big concern. I think that he can improve, and I think that he'll go very close to winning. And as you mentioned, number 8, Wahid, a good run behind a good horse on debut. He's also upwardly mobile, so I think they're the 2 that will fight it out. The other horse that I'm interested in the pick 6 is number 1, And Action. It's been stop-start through his career, had 3 runs in fairly quick succession as a late 2-year-old, early 3-year-old, and then was laid off for a few months and has come back looking a little bit ring-rusty at times. I don't think he's a 1,000-metre horse that he tried last time, although not being disgraced. I think he'll be a little bit better over 1,200 metres this time around. Do I think he's got the class and quality to turn around these 2-year-olds that probably have more, that certainly have more scope to improve? I'm a bit dubious, but if you are looking for an alternative, it would be number 1, And Action.
What about the filly? We're not including her. Number 5, Gold Agent in the pick 6. We've got 3 runners, 1, 6, and 8 in numerical order. We can include one more if we want to use the rule.
She's had every chance in her career. She's had good draws. She's failed to get the job done. I think there's more progressive horses this time around. I know she's also got draw 1 this time. She got Craig Zaki on board. All of those are positives. But a 10-start maiden who's had plenty chances, let the team down before. No more from me. Certainly not in this race with progressive 2-year-olds.
Enough is enough. I like that. 1, 6, and 8. Enough is enough. Race number 5. 1,000 meters, merit rated 96 handicap. Let's bring up the field. Number 1 at 33-10, number 2 at 8-1. Then we got number 3 at 33-20, 5 at 33-10, and 7 is at 7-1, and 8 is a 7-1 shot. I think this will be a good race to try and keep it, to less than 4 runners, Alistair, because if we go past 4, then I'm going to suggest the field.
Don't know where it sits in the pick 6 here, Dees. We can talk about it now. My 2 numbers in the PA, Karangatang number 1 and Dreamland number 3. The 2 Verner's horses. Karangatang's got a lot of weight to shoulder, but I know that the yard are pleased with the fact that he's coming back and showing some life, obviously with a bit of help from the handicapper that he's showing some life. But the Son of a Rup started life with a bang. He probably got to the grasp with the handicapper, and now that he's been given some relief, he's starting to finish closer. He is back to 1,000 meters this time around, which I think is his best trip. 2 of his 3 wins have come over this distance. He's also, crucially, in a handicap for the very first time. I like that angle with number 1, Karangatang. So he is my top selection here, but there's no way we can write off number 3, Dreamland, after winning the now called National Currency, the Mythical Flight Sprint. The last time out, won it pretty well, beating Richard the First, and Just Be Luck was at there inside. Richard Ferry is on board. I assume Gavin would have had the choices of numbers 1, 2, and 3. 3 at 56 kilos would have been a bit of a stretch. So I'm reading into the fact that he's chosen number 1, Karangatang, as my top choice, with number 3, Dreamland, the main danger. Dreamland's been resurgent since coming back to sprints. He's loving life at the moment. Is he a true 1,000-meter horse? I don't think he's got that type of speed, and and that type of that burst of acceleration out the stalls to kill them, but I think he will be finishing off probably better than quite a few others, so that could make him quite a threat in race number 5. As far as the pick 6 is concerned, this was Hollywoodbets. On the 25th of February, when he ran in the Man of War, he finished 2 1/4 lengths behind One Fell Swoop and ran many points above his rating. He fluffed his lines at the next start, but then showed that maybe he's got a little bit in hand with the handicapper by beating Longsword by a short head. Musi, and he's back on board. He got a £6 penalty for that. He's obviously not very consistent as number 8, Hollywoodbets, but if you take the run on the 25th of February at face value, he's still got a few points in hand. So I wouldn't leave him out of pick 6s, but I'm only putting him in because of that one fact. He might have been flattered by that. He might have had better horses lifting his game. I don't know, but he's just the alternative for me, number 8, Hollywoodbets. But does he have the same quality as Korangutang and Dreamland? I highly doubt it.
Well, we've heard Kabisi make his presence felt in the background. I don't know whether he's agreeing with anything, disagreeing with anything, but whenever he makes an appearance on the show, it's trouble. So let's include the field here. Let's include the field, Alistair. After that, we're going to just multiply the per mount by 8. And if you don't know, if you're listening to the show for the first time, Karisi is Alistair's dog in the background there. And he always makes an appearance whenever he wants to. So what we're going to do, we multiply the per mount by 8. 1 and 3 look to be the principals, just judging by the comments that Alistair made. But we're going to multiply that per mount by 8 there and multiply it out and see if we can get the right result there. Possibly the biggest outsider in the field to arrive and to drop a lot of tickets. But if you're playing it narrow and you're looking for a form result, I think that's also possible in race number 5. Race number 6, 1,600 meters, fillies and mares 90. Betting here, number 1, 6 to 1, number 2 at 7 to 1. Caden Brewer has been declared on number 3 at the time of recording, 5 at 28 to 10. Hollywoodbets, Alistair, number 6, Work of Time, from 6 to 1 into 5 to 1 from a very informed stable of Brett Crawford. Number 7 at 7 to 1, 8 at 7 to 1, and it's double figures, the balance. Well, this is it. We've decided to go field in the previous race. What are we doing here, Alistair? In the place accumulator, it looks like you possibly need 2 or 3 runners to, I'm not saying be safe, maybe double up.
I've gone 3 runners in my place accumulator. I make this the hardest race on the card. I think it's difficult to put a pen through many of these, and what exacerbates that is that a horse like Cape Lutz, who I always like, and 6 Work of Time, who's got to have claims, are drawn on the wide outside. So I'm sidestepping them, although if they were drawn better, I would have a lot of time for them. So those are just some of the issues that I have with this race. In the PA, I've got numbers 2, 5, and 8. I think the on the horizon form is something that's got to come under the spotlight here. If you go back to the 13th of April, Magical Flight was beaten narrowly by On the Horizon, but she finished in front of Flamboyant Flyer, Work of Time, and Sharapova. According to the weights, there's no reason for that form to turn around. So all of that, I think, has got to give number 2, Magical Flight, a leg up here. Magical Flight is very good over this course, good over this distance. Now meshing the 2 together, she's definitely got a lot of life in those legs. A 6-year-old mare by Willow Magic, 7-time winner. She's better performed than anyone else in this race, so she's got enough going for her to make a strong case for her. She's not past the post, but she's a natural inclusion, and I think that she'll be in the first 3. 5 Kissing Machine, I think, will be tested sufficiently here. Washong Maui Richard Faree team up, but she gets blinkers on for the first time. If the blinkers help her improve a couple of lengths, then she will be very dangerous. Her claim to fame was being beaten 3 parts of a length by Frances Ethel from a bad draw. In fact, I'm of the opinion that she, with a better draw, might have beaten Frances Ethel on that occasion, and that could have changed all sorts of dynamics. Although Frances Ethel was obviously wet behind the ears and wasn't too sure of what was going on at that stage of the game, but all the same, I think number 5 Kissing Machine does come into the picture. And number 8 Just Be Nice, the 3rd run after a race, she's doing well at home. Pila Sunday and Paulie takes her out, very encouraged with her last run behind Lucy in the Sky. She's got the advantage of draw 1, so there's plenty in her favour. She's got a nice handy galloping weight on her back, and she's not one to let run loose either. But ask me who I don't like here, and you're going to get radio silence on the other side.
Okay, with numbers 2, 5, and 8 that you singled out, we got some play here. I say some play because we can include 2 more runners if we wish in the pick 6, or 1 more. The choice is yours. So along with 2, 5, and 8, what can we include in the pick 6?
Let's throw in number 1, Cape Lights.
Yes.
And I'm going to give number 10, Sharapova, another chance as well. Not many more chances, but I'm going to give her another chance.
So we are leaving out 6 and we're choosing 10. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 8, and 10. You happy with that?
Let's go. That's what we got to do.
1, 2, 5, 8, and 10. 5 runners there for Alistair in that pick 6. And we are now at the closing stages of that bet, because once you turn into the straight, it's races 7 and 8, merit-rated 84 handicap, 1,450 meters. This is the way they're betting. Number 2 at 3 to 1. Number 3 at 3 to 1. Horse number 5 at 7 to 1. 6 is a 9 to 2 shot. 7 a 5 to 1 shot. And then it is double figures, the balance. There's a horse here that's not in single figures, Alistair, and I just want your opinion, called Aravadisio. We understand and know. Sorry, Ali?
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. You're being sadistic. You're hurting me here with this horse, Dees.
Why is that? I mean, this horse, the one thing that I'll tell you is that once he's been frustrating and costly, if you've gone for him in the past, 500 and 49 days. Let's give the guys the exact time since his last win, which was his second career win. But a horse that's always had a reputation, Alistair. And, I must admit that, I haven't looked at him seriously before. But in this type of field, I think Mike de Kock could have found the right answer with this weight.
Raheel is going to get, the moment he listens to this, he is going to get on the phone and call me a hypocrite, because I've been for Aravadicha in 24 of the starts. When did this preview show start? 18, maybe 2 years ago. I've been for Aravadicha maybe 21 times out of 24. I vowed after the run on the 22nd of February, never again. I'm never going there again. And guess what? He's my top selection in this race. He's my top selection. I don't know what's come over me. I don't know if I've lost the plot, if I'm being dishonest to myself. I'm not being dishonest to the viewers, because I genuinely like him for the following reasons. His rating has come down again, but that's what we've fallen in with before. From a 97 down now to a 68. His last 2 starts, he's had horrible draws on the Turffontein inside track. Now he's got draw 1. He's got a light weight on his back. On the run for cover, where he was beaten by Written and Stone and Field Alright, he has got such a he's got a crazy swing at the weights. He should turn it around with those horses. I don't know, everything is looking at you right in the face. This horse, Aravadicha, it's time now. But I also have vowed never again with him. The backup is easily number 2, MK's Dreams, with blinkers on for the first time. I didn't think that last run was all that bad behind Master Christmas. He kind of faded over the closing stages, but if the blinkers can just help him finish off his races a little bit better, then number 2, MK's Dreams, does come into the picture. But don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess. From a pick 6 perspective, let's include number 6, Max the Otter. And I will be happy with that, to be honest.
Okay, so we're going 2, 6, and 9 in the pick 6, Alistair. 2, 6, and 9, are you happy with that?
2, 6, and 9, unless you got something else that you want to include.
No, I just wanted to maybe possibly include number 3, Bob's Your Uncle. I think I'm going to include that. 2, 3, 6, and 9. But let me tell you one thing. This is not individual stable fit now with Aravadicha. You got a partner. It's better ball. And I can promise you, the way my game is, we're going to make a lot of birdies. So I think number 9, Aravadicha, I'm going to be partnering with Alistair Cohen on this horse. The horse is trading at 12 to 1, and it's better ball. So let's see if we can, get a birdie with him on Thursday. And at around 12 to 1, while Alistair said, I've been off him. I've been on him most of the time, but I'm about to be off him. Well, who knows? Maybe Thursday could be the day that he can reward us. 9, Aravadicha, trading at 12 to 1. And I doubt that price will last after the show. Let's move along to race number 8, 1,450 meters, merit weight at 84 handicap. How are we going to end things off? Well, Alistair, let me try and work out the cost of our perm whilst I give you the betting. Number 2 is at 3-1. Number 3 is at 8-1. Number 5 is at 4-1. Horse number 6 is at 8-1. Then we got number 7 at 9-4. And horse number 8 is at 7-1. Whilst we've got that field on there, Alistair, well, we started off with a banker, then we went 3 runners, and then we went the field, so that's 8 runners in that leg, so that's 24 times. Then we went 2 for 5 runners, that will give us, what's it, 24 times 5, that is 120, times 2 for, we're sitting on 480 Rand with our perm, going into the last leg, so we can try and minimize it, to a reasonable spend where the valued racing fans can possibly take a percentage of. Race 8, Alistair, 480 Rand. What you think, could see us survive this pick 6 if we were running going into the last? How many horses?
I think we can hold this to less than half D's. 2 and 7, they're my PA numbers, so they've got to go in. Bloomington and also Pocket Watch, so they automatic entries. I think number 1, Funky Music, needs to go in as well. It's a blow that we don't have Trent Mayhew claiming his allowance on number 1, Funky Music, but he's got to go in. 3, Just Nuisance as well. And that might do it for me, actually. I think those 4 horses might do it for me. Let's talk about these 2 that I like most. Number 2, Bloomington on the inside track. I always like. 3rd run after a rest. Better last run when there was money for him. Finishing a length and a half behind Joker Man. Dennis Schwarz takes the ride. There's plenty to like about number 2, Bloomington. And then number 7, Pocket Watch. I didn't like his last run at all, but his penultimate run I really loved from the son of Master of My Fate. Calvin Habib is on board for Stuart Pettigrew. The reason why I don't like his last run, everything was plain sailing up the inside. He was drawn towards the inside. I liked him on that day, and he did absolutely nothing. I would not put that down to the Vast Straight because he's been there and he's run fairly well. So I don't know how my patience is with number 7, Pocket Watch, but all the same, I'm going to take the penultimate run, even anti-penultimate run, as the races to make a case for him. If he puts that last run behind him, then he's got to have some sort of claims here. Other than that, Ragnar Lothbrok, there's no forecast of rain. If it was a soft track, I'd just about banker number 5, Ragnar Lothbrok. He's an absolute mudlark, but doesn't seem to perform on a fast track, and Joburg's been very warm of late, so that's going to count against him. The scratching of number 4, Champion Warrior, probably helps the PA cause quite a little bit. So, that's the way I read the finale here, Dees.
Well, I'm going to call it, when we do this type of bet, I'm going to call it in-running. So this is the in-running pick 6, the unplanned pick 6. So the in-running pick 6, before we go to Alistair's suggested bet for Thursday. This is how it looks, guys. Jot these numbers down. 7 a banker, by 1, 6 and 8, by the field, which is multiplied by 8 at the time of recording, by 1, 2, 5, 8 and 10, by 2, 3, 6 and 9, and we're ending it off by 1, 2, 3 and 7. If you multiply that perm out, it'll be 192 Rand, which will give you 10%. So what you basically need is for that pick 6 to pay more than 1,920 Rand, and you will get a profit. Over to you, Alistair, for your suggested bet that you've given for the show.
Place accumulator that gets underway at 10 past 1, banker 2 in the first leg. That's Cosmic Speed by banker 7, Dragon in the second leg. Then gone 2 horses, 6 Bad Medicine and 8 Wahid in race 4, which is leg 3, by 2 horses again, 1 Korangatang and 3 Dreamland. Race 6, which is leg 5 of the place accumulator, 2 Magical Flights, 5 Kissing Machine and 8 Just Be Nice. Then in the penultimate leg gone 2 MK's Dreams, 9 Aravadicha, and then to finish off 2 and 7 Bloomington and Pocket Watch. Nice affordable place accumulator, hopefully a winning one as well.
Well, thank you, Alistair, and give our bets to Tabisi, who has made an appearance again on the show. He's the mascot, as I always mention when we do high felt racing. Thank you, Alistair. Have a blast.
Shotties, always to you and the viewers. Hope it's a good Thursday and looking forward to Saturday's action as well.
Well, thanks to Alistair Cohen, thanks to the entire team, Gallop TV, and from myself, Dees Diner, and to you, the valued racing fan. Have a blast, find all the winners. Hopefully it turns out to be a successful and profitable day's racing for you if you are racing this Thursday at Turffontein on the inside track. And until we meet again, you take care. Salani Ashley.